Internal audit really depends on the organization that you're working for. In my experience, some internal auditors are very controls-based, SOX, really assisting the external auditors and making sure that the controls are in place so that the external auditors do less controls testing.
Obviously one of the differences between an internal and external auditor is the internal auditor actually works for the organization and only works on projects for that organization, where the external auditors, coming in at year end or throughout the year and performing external audit tests on the organization, and as well as other companies. They could work on many different jobs, but internal is actually an employee of the company that's working on projects for management.
For us here at Mid-American Energy Company, the internal audit group is basically an advisory and assurance type function within the organization. We provide advice and assistance, kind of like an outside consultant would, on various internal control and efficiency and process.
Coming from the state auditor's office to internal audit here at Mid-American Energy Company, for the state auditor's office, it's more like public accounting, like Dale was saying, and you're providing assurance. You're auditing financial statements that a county or city or whoever may be issuing, and here it's more of a value-added assurance function to the overall company.
I'm in internal auditing. The main function I saw that our group held was to monitor the effectiveness of internal controls and also to determine the risk for the companies as a whole. There are certain policies that our entities have that we also audited and made sure that the entity was following or complying with.
What I enjoy the most is between internal auditing and public auditing. The public auditing, we went in and made a report and did our testing, and no changes were made from the time we walked in the door until the report was made. As internal auditor, I feel like we can do more teaching, even in showing people how to prepare their books, even though our audit is considered the same as for a public firm. We do a little bit more teaching, which is the part I enjoy the most.
So how have you used the internal audit department in your line of work?
Yeah, sure. So sometimes when I'm assessing the value of a company, I can go to the internal audit department to get independent test work over the details that our auditors did not cover. For instance, I've had the internal audit department of 2 or 3 large ESOPs help with some small test work so that I can get more comfortable with some of management's reports and numbers.
Internal audit in an organization.
Well, basically, internal audit performs functions to make sure that there's independence within the organization, i.e., if you look at public companies, and the internal audit will look at whether controls are being complied with per Sarbanes-Oxley Act.
I came to know internal audit through my time in public accounting when I worked with publicly traded companies, and they had formal internal audit teams built out. They were working to protect assets, whether it was accounts receivable, inventory, also looking over other processes such as accounts payable. Learned how they studied the process and built out procedures to audit those processes.
For the role of internal audit, I think that can vary quite widely within a company, but if it's set up correctly, I think it can definitely increase a company's efficiency. And in my view, there's kind of 2 different distinctions for the role of internal audit. And that would be, first, you can have an operational side where you're looking about how the business is run, and you'll be auditing different areas, different processes, different business units, with the purpose of identifying errors or issues, and also looking for process improvements where somebody is doing stuff that's very manual or tedious and takes a lot of time, and can we automate that? Can it be simplified a little bit so they can use their time elsewhere, or just get rid of a redundant process?